Hello everyone! Greetings from Kharkov, Ukraine. My name is Svetlana Mucha and I am the leading matchmaker and dating coach at Diolli.com. Today I want to discuss with you why so many singles struggle with building a relationship, or better to say, why they simply cannot meet the right person. So often I hear it from our subscribers, from our potential male and female clients, that they simply can't meet the right person. Usually it means two things. A. These singles have totally unrealistic expectations, and it usually means that the person they are looking for simply does not exist. And B, if this person exists magically out of a sudden, this person simply will never choose them back. This person is looking for different qualities, this person is looking for a different type of a person. So many singles, both male and female, struggle with their unrealistic expectations that prevent them from meeting someone really special, someone perfect. So in my humble opinion, meeting someone who shares your values, who have similar life goals, long-term life goals, someone who will love you the way you are and won't try to change you, sounds perfect enough to me. But so many singles, they build this thick wall of unrealistic expectations that they simply cannot meet someone. And of course, the most popular unrealistic expectation is dating someone much younger. I can't even count how many times we have declined a gentleman as a potential client because he, by 48 or by 52, has claimed that he wants to date only a woman who is 27 or 28 and younger. And of course, such a gentleman can give you different reasons, excuses why, in his opinion, dating someone under 28 is the best solution or the only possible solution for 52 years old himself. Usually the most popular excuse is the fact that he wants to have kids, and in his reality, only women under 28 years old are willing and are capable of having kids. Can we put a facepalm here? Or he can claim that this is the age group he normally dates, and usually there are two scenarios. The first one, the gentleman has actually dated women under 28 when he was actually dating, like 15 or 20 years ago, when he was in his early to middle 30s, and he believes that he's still in that age group, that he will be still popular among those ladies because he used to be popular among them 15 or 20 years ago. Well, there is another scenario, and this one is more complicated because it is much more complicated to cure such a gentleman. He is dating online, let's say on paper-led dating sites or on Tinder, and really on such websites he is talking to ladies who claim they are 27, 25, maybe even 19, and he believes that if he receives letters at such websites, it means that he is actually dating those women and he is popular among them. So if he is as popular online, for sure he will be popular offline as well. Though we all know that those profiles have very little to do, if anything, with reality, and even if those ladies are real, maybe they just want to have a free meal in the evening if he managed to go out with one of those ladies offline on a date. Maybe she just feels lazy to cook her own meal and she doesn't want to pay for her dinner. And of course, there are women like that in all countries, in all cities, so don't try to blame it all on Ukraine. And my favorite excuse, I don't know why gentlemen think that it has to convince me 100% that I have to match him with a lady who is like 20 years or 25 years younger. Oh, I'm just not attracted to women in their 30s, I just want to date someone in her late 20s, okay, 29 top. Well, too bad for him, because ladies in their middle to late 20s, they're not eager to actually meet someone who is in his late 40s or early 50s, because in their opinion, he is too old for them. Of course, you can tell me right now that there is Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, or for example, ex-president of the United States and Melania Trump. Guys, you are not a Michael Douglas and you do not have his fame, his money and his looks, period. How many couples do you know like that in real life, not in Hollywood? In your circle of friends, do you know many couples with the age gap of 25 years or 20 years? I really doubt it. And of course, you can imagine it that a girl is 25 and a gentleman is 50 years old, and he is a very good-looking 50 years old. He is in a great shape for his 50. Maybe he is even in a better shape than many gentlemen in their 30s and 40s are. But what will happen in 5 or 10 years? What will happen when he turns 55 or 60? Actually, I know several couples like that in Ukraine. The gentlemen were in their late 40s, early 50s. They all are well-off Ukrainian businessmen, and they have married girls who were like 20 years younger. And such couples, they had a kid, and for 5 to 10 years they were traveling, Bali, Maldives. They were having good time, pretty pictures in Instagram. But 5 to 10 years after, such marriages unfortunately have ended. And several ladies who were in such marriages, when they entered my office, they told me that, yes, we had a great time, and I was in love with my ex-husband. We have traveled, life was comfortable, and an ex-husband, he still supports financially his ex-wife, and he's still a good-looking man for his 60s or late 50s. But you know, Svetlana, I will never ever marry or date an old man, because we are way too different. He is old and I'm young, and this is not for me. So this is the reaction, the feedback, if you want to call it, from ladies who have been in such marriages. Well, of course, you can tell me right now that you know couples that are married for years and they have an age gap. I know such couples as well, but let's agree with you that such couples are truly rare and truly unique. They are really exceptional. You can tell me right now that you are that rare exception, that you are exceptional as well, so for sure an age gap of 20 or 25 years will work for you. Guys, you can Google the internet and there will be exceptional stories about exceptional people who have managed to fall out from the window of the 6th floor and they haven't broken a single bone. And I'm sure that none of you wants to repeat such an adventure, and none of you can guarantee that if you repeat such an adventure, you will have the same result. And before you try to tell me that I'm against relationship with an age gap, I'm not against relationship with an age gap. I'm against unrealistic expectations. One lady, an attractive 42 years old who speaks English and Spanish, has joined our database. She told us that she is interested to meet only a Slavic man who lives in Western Europe, and she is looking for someone who is 1 meter and 80 centimeters tall, because she is 1 meter and 70 centimeters tall, and she is attracted only to taller men, and she likes your high heels. And also she is looking for someone who is 38 up till 42 years old. And also she is looking for a man who doesn't have kids and who doesn't want to have more kids. And the lady, she has a 15 years old son from her first marriage. We have told the lady that chances that such a man exists are very low. Chances that such a man who is never married and doesn't have kids from previous relationship and doesn't want to have kids will choose her back, they are even smaller. And chances that such a man will actually hire a matchmaker, will pay a matchmaker to search for a woman who is older or his age, they are almost non-existent. Usually by 42 people have kids. People who do not have kids by 42, usually they want to have kids. And of course there is a category of people who are like child-free and they don't want to have children at all. And of course such people want to date people who also don't have kids and don't want to have kids. So does it sound realistic to you that a woman who has a child and wants to date a man who is younger than she is or who is her age, 42 years old, will be willing to date a woman who has a child and the child is 15, so he is still a dependent? And in this perfect scenario of this woman, this man doesn't have kids of his own and he's not willing to have kids of his own. It doesn't sound realistic to me. Of course, if the child of this lady was out of the house, and when the child of this lady will be out of the house, it will be another scenario, because she will be an empty nestler, and there will be people who are empty nestlers as well, or people who do not have kids and do not want to have kids in the future, and they're looking for a partner who also is free and doesn't have small children. Then it will be another story. But at this stage, by 42, with a 15-year-old child, what she's looking for, what she claims she is looking for, is unrealistic. Of course, there can be another scenario. For example, a gentleman doesn't have kids and he is in his late 40s, early 50s, and the lady is in her late 30s, and she has, for example, one kid from previous relationship. Then such a relationship can actually have future, because experience of this lady in her past marriage, in parenthood, it can be beneficial for such a couple. And for a gentleman in his late 40s, early 50s, actually it can be a last chance to start a family and to have kids with a woman who has a child from a previous relationship but who wants to have more kids in future relationship. Guys, I'm not sugarcoating in my videos, I'm telling it the way it is. So, of course, you can tell me that it is harsh, but it is better to be realistic than to be disappointed. Of course, very often people do not like a harsh reality, and some women in their early 40s, for example, get offended that I'm not willing, in their opinion, I'm not willing to introduce them to gentlemen in their early 40s as well to have kids with. And I honestly tell them that for a 42-year-old gentleman who wants to have kids, there will be many candidates in their middle 30s, late 30s, maybe even early 30s, who would be open and willing to date him and to have kids with him in future relationship. Another popular unrealistic expectation is about the looks. I believe Instagram, Photoshop and numerous filters have messed up so much the perception of so many people what beauty should look like, what reality looks like, that such people, they can't tell what is real and what is not. Unrealistic beauty standards exist only on Instagram. Even those beautiful photoshopped plastic photos of beautiful, unrealistically beautiful men and women on Instagram, even those men and women in real life do not look like their photos. So it is ridiculous to expect that people will look like that in real life. Nowadays people even apply special filters on videos to adjust their looks, so it is really getting more complicated to understand that that's unrealistic. That's a cartoon you are looking at. It's not even a real video. It's not like a real person looks like. You can tell me right now that women are deceiving, using different makeup and adjusting their looks. Well, makeup looks like a child came with all these filters and Photoshop. Pretty often these Instagram models, once they enter my office, I can't even recognize them. It's like looking at two different people. So many singles, especially men, get so used and so addicted to this Instagram reality, or this reality of paperless dating sites, that when you show them a photo of a really beautiful, really attractive woman, but a real photo, not an adjusted one, they claim that this woman is plain or she is not attracted, because they lose this touch with reality. So what to do? It is important to actually start meeting real people offline, to remind yourself what real people actually look like. Because even if that man has managed to get a date with a woman from that beautifully photoshopped, adjusted picture from Instagram, Tinder or a paperless dating site, I can guarantee you that he either won't recognize her once he has met her in person, or he would have felt deceived because she doesn't look like her pictures. If a man starts dating real people offline, he will learn not only what real people, attractive people look like in real life, not on Instagram photos, and also he can learn what type of women find him attractive, and he can understand which dating markets he should target. Important conclusion and dating tip. Start looking for people who are looking for you. Try to learn which type or types of women find you attractive and why. Learn pros and cons about each type and try to concentrate on those women who like you for all the right reasons. There is no sense in chasing women who believe you are not their type. If she doesn't share your values, if she doesn't have your long-term goals, even if you find her really attractive, it will be a waste of time. We are currently working with two gentlemen in their 20s. One gentleman is 25 years old, another is 27, and we are doing many interviews to pre-select the best candidates for them. You can tell me right now that it seems like a piece of cake. A gentleman is 25, another is 27. There must be so many Ukrainian girls who want to date this young gentleman that my job must be really easy. Actually, it is not. Girls in their early to middle 20s are very picky about the looks of the gentleman. They are very particular what type of looks they find attractive, and for many of them, many qualities that, for example, older girls believe are not important for these younger girls, they are a deal breaker. One of my clients is under 1 meter and 80 centimeters tall, and you will be surprised how many ladies have turned him down without even looking at his photos because after they have asked me how tall he was, I was telling that he is 1 meter and 77 centimeters tall. And many girls who are, for example, 1 meter and 60 or 65 centimeters tall are not open to date a young gentleman if he is shorter than 1 meter and 80 centimeters tall. You can tell me right now that they are superficial. Well, gentlemen also have their own beauty standards, and they can tell me that I'm not attracted to this girl or to that girl, and you can't tell that this man is shallow. He's just attracted to beauty. Same is with many girls, and especially if we are talking about the age group early 20s to middle 20s. My other client, he has a darker skin tone and deep dark brown eyes and dark brown hair, and many girls were not open to go out with him because he does not have blue eyes, and for many girls it is a deal breaker. So when I tell these girls how kind he is, how wonderful he is, how tall he is, how smart he is, they feel interested. Yes, they want to see the photo, but once they see the photo, they tell me that, oh, his eyes are not blue, and I prefer someone with lighter skin color or someone with blonde hair. And all the ladies I'm interviewing, they match all the criteria that my male clients are looking for. The age, the height, the body type, family values, level of education, English speaking. But if these girls do not find this gentleman attractive, if, for example, this girl has made up her mind that her match has to be 1 meter and 80 centimeters tall, there is nothing I can do with it. You shouldn't worry about our young male clients. We are quite confident we will introduce them to beautiful, nice young ladies. Of course, it will take time to conduct all the interviews. I just wanted to share with you how complicated it can be to find someone who will be attracted to your photo sometimes, even if we are not talking about the age gap, because so often gentlemen think that if there is no age gap, it can be a piece of cake. Not only you are looking for a person, another person has to be looking for you. Another person has to find your type attractive. She has to be looking for your type exactly. If you start dating and courting someone who is looking for your type, it can be a game changer. You will feel different during the dates. You will feel that she actually tries her best to make you like her. You can feel that she is actually investing more time and effort, and she actually enjoys spending time with you. Some men can claim that it makes her desperate. No, it just means that you are dating on the right market. When you chase someone or you try to court someone who is not looking for your type, you can constantly feel unwanted, unappreciated. You can even feel that that lady wants to take advantage of you. In such scenario, usually you get the first, the second date, and then you will get an answer, something like, oh, I really wish you luck in your search, you are such a nice guy, but I just do not feel chemistry, and it is better for us to remain friends. And after several denials like that, or after several ghosting can also take place, you can start feeling that all people are not sincere and they just want to use you and they are strange and dating is not for you. It can just mean that you are on the wrong market. You keep trying to attract a person who is not attracted to your type, and there is nothing you can do with that. Pretty often during my first interviews with potential clients, I hear it from gentlemen that they don't want to date a single mother. And of course, if the gentleman is 35 years old, he is never married, he doesn't have kids from previous relationship, why should he date a single mother? But if we are talking about another scenario, let's say a gentleman is 48 years old, he is a divorced father of 2 kids, and these 2 kids spend every second week with him or every second weekend, so he has this shared custody. And this gentleman, he said that he doesn't want to have more kids, but he is open to date only a woman who doesn't have kids of her own and who doesn't want to have more kids in the future. Let's say he claims he wants to date someone from 30 up till 38. Why should a single 30 years old woman who doesn't have kids and who doesn't want to have kids in the future, let's say she's child-free, settle for a 48 years old divorced father with 2 kids who spend half the time with him? And even if this girl is 35, why should she choose him? If she doesn't want to have kids in the future, she can definitely date a gentleman her age or a gentleman who is 5 years older, let's say 40 years old, who doesn't have kids and who doesn't want to have children. And this gentleman who is 48 years old and who doesn't want to have more kids, what are his other options? If he wants to date a lady who doesn't want to have more children, he can consider dating a lady whose kids are out of the house. Let's say it would be hard for him to meet a lady who is 35, who doesn't have kids and doesn't want to have kids and who would be open to date a single father with 2 small children. Why not to look for a lady who is, let's say, 38 or maybe 40 years old, who is, let's say, 8 to 10 years younger, but whose kid has just entered college? It can be a good solution. I know many ladies who had their first kid when she was very young, let's say 20 or 21. The marriage unfortunately hasn't worked out, and she has already raised a child, she has brought up that child, and now she wants to live her life, she wants to travel, she wants to fall in love, she wants to have romance, and she doesn't want to have more kids, so she can be a good option for a gentleman who has also adult kids, or for a gentleman who doesn't want to have more kids in the future. Of course, there is no guarantee that such a woman will settle for a gentleman who has 2 small children. So you have to understand what type of ladies will find you appealing, what type of women will be looking for your type. So how to understand that your expectations are realistic? And before you start complaining that I try to persuade you to settle for something less, that I try to persuade you to drop the bar, by no means I try to do it. I'm not recommending you to settle for less. I highly recommend you to look for something that you really need, to look for someone with whom you can actually build healthy, happy, lasting relationship. Pretty often what we need and what we claim we want can be quite opposite. Guys, I recommend all my subscribers and all my clients, matchmaking and coaching, to be smart about their choices. By the way, at the end of May, we will start something very special. I will start a small coaching group. It will be a group coaching, but we won't have any pre-recorded videos because you have our YouTube channel with all videos that you can watch freely whenever you want. So in this group coaching, we will actually have 2 lections, and also each gentleman that will participate, it will be a small group, will have 3 hours of individual consultations with me. What will you get? First of all, you will understand if you can actually succeed in international dating, how you can achieve it, and also you will understand what market, which groups of women will find you attractive and why. You can learn where and how you can meet such women and what they are looking for in a relationship. And also individually with each of you who will participate in this group coaching, we will build you a dating profile, and we will build you a strategy. What will be the most efficient way for you to meet such a lady? Can online dating, maybe Facebook, or only matchmaking work for you? Guys, I hope we will have a really cozy group of 5 to 7 gentlemen. We will have 2 group lections, and then we will have 3 hours of individual one-on-one coaching with me. I hope that you haven't fallen asleep while watching this video, and also I hope that you have noticed that within the last 2 months we have started uploading 2 new videos per week at our channel. It is not very easy to do it because we are very busy with our matchmaking and coaching clients. I hope you really appreciate it. Don't forget to press like to this video and to subscribe to our channel. I want to wish you all only smart dating choices and lots of romance. Svetlana Mucha from Diolli.com with love.